Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
And right now, the government's giving us nothing. The small businesses have been forgotten. We somehow have slid under the rug. There's very few things that they're willing to offer, but I lost my job. We have 2 kids at home. They need to be fed. I have a mortgage at home. I can't pay rent for 2 stores that, like I say, sales are down 80% and afford to pay for my children and my home and my utilities. And, we still have internet, phone line. We have all of our utilities at these stores. That's way too much. We can't afford it. We just can't.
Today I'm going to introduce you to Shawn and Daphne Donaldson. Now the Donaldsons are small business owners in Sudbury, Ontario, and they first came to be known by me and Rebel News through our special portal for businesses and entrepreneurs that are willing to stand up and defy the lockdown orders and reopen their doors to customers at iwillopen.com. The Donaldsons run a legalized marijuana accessories retail store. In fact, they used to run 2, and they've invested into their business with sweat equity and cash, just like every other small business owner out there does. But in between the time that the Donaldsons first reached out to us at iwillopen.com and the time that their interview with me was set to go live, Daphne and Shawn went from small business owners who were bravely standing up to an authoritarian government shutdown to business owners harshly punished for just trying to survive. The Donaldsons received hefty fines for their active civil disobedience and economic survival. And so now we're helping the Donaldsons fight those fines at no cost to them at fightthefines.com. Daphne and Shawn join me today to tell their side of the story. Take a listen. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what Mr. Green's Novelties does?
Well, so first of all, we sell cannabis paraphernalia. A lot of people actually think that we sell cannabis, but we don't because
just
we haven't.
Novelty side.
Yeah, we're more of like a novelty type of store. And one of the things that with our industry, especially like it's such a fresh industry, it's under a lot of discrimination. We try to really bring a lot of happiness to people and positivity. Especially, we do get people that come in here, they don't know very much about what cannabis is or does, or it's been under so much stigma. So
our in-person sales and our passion is what's really allowed our customers to enjoy themselves and to be able to purchase a product knowledgeably so that they're leaving with the right product, because online sales doesn't really give you that opportunity, nor does curbside.
Especially if you don't understand what you're really purchasing.
Because there are a lot of devices and a lot of different ways to use and consume out there. So there's just a lot of education behind it.
Mm-hmm. That's a really great point, because I know absolutely nothing about the legalized marijuana industry, marijuana consumption, absolutely nothing. And I think that I'm probably not alone in that, because it is such a new industry. So because in-person sales are banned, you don't have the opportunity to educate your customer. And now now we have the whole curfew by another name thing imposed on your customers too. So they can't even ask you questions when you run out to the car to give them what they've ordered.
Exactly. So it really takes that in-person sales out. It's like not test driving a car before you purchase it. It's the same effect as a car sale. So you have to be able to go in, and then they go into the vehicles, right? So it's the same thing as far as sales point of view, right? So we just want to have that chance to be able to sell our product.
You've actually tried to use technology to reach out to your customer, even though you and I both think that that's probably not the best way to do it.
Like the sales, I took a look at them, are really good last night, because we had done an interview a couple of days ago, and I think we're basically at an 80% drop in sales. And because the thing is, like we were saying, right, so much of our sales comes from in-store, especially our personalities, because we do a lot of things that we do. People want to see us, they want that experience with us. So when you come out to your car, that 2 seconds of interaction, that doesn't give people what they need.
Yeah, we have to give them that true sales experience. Like my father sold the first computers here in Sudbury. He showed up in Sudbury with a transport full of computers and sold them to Rainbow District School Board, as well as the mining district out here. So, he started the first computer company, and he went through what against the box stores in the early days when Food Shop and Best Buy were first kind of getting out there. Mm-hmm. So we see how hard it is against the box stores. We just want to level the playing field and make it fair for everybody.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, you two first came to me through iwillopen.com. And when we first did that interview, and then even before your interview went live, things changed quite rapidly for you guys. But let's go back a little bit to why you made the decision to open up, because you just have one store now, but you initially had two, and one didn't survive the lockdown.
Unfortunately, yeah, especially with this new lockdown here, we had to pay our rent. And, you know, like the thing is, we are a small company, so we invested everything. We invested our RRSPs. I invested all of our savings. My dad passed away 4 years ago of cancer. I invested the money that I got from his unclaimed, because he was only 54, so he had an unclaimed CPP fund. So we split that between the three of us kids.
We put our life savings.
We put everything into this.
Credit card we can get and everything.
I don't have money sitting on the side to pay for the rent, and like even right now the government's giving us nothing. The small businesses have been forgotten. We somehow have slid under the rug. There's very few things that they're willing to offer, but I lost my job. We have two kids at home. They need to be fed. I have a mortgage at home. I can't pay rent for two stores that, like I say, sales are down 80%, and afford to pay for my children and my home and my utilities. And, you know, we still have internet, phone line. We have all of our utilities at these stores. That's way too much. We can't afford it. We just can't. So unfortunately now
we've gone above and beyond, I think, too, and just safety protocols within our shop, and to make them feel safe, like, you know. We're adding a second cash. We have a small store. We have enough to accommodate a dozen customers. So we cut it down to 6 customers. Yeah. And we're even adding an extra cash. So 2 caches at separate areas of the store to just accommodate and make it even safer. So like, there's no reason that shouldn't work. Yeah. And there's no fine that should be legitimized that would surpass a reason for surviving and providing food for families.
And one thing I do want to mention, like a lot of people say, oh, you know, like you're saying, well, because I always say, like, look, we're still using the proper protocols. My mother passed away at 34 years old in 1999 of a super flu. So I know that the flu is real. It's not fake. People have always died of the flu. We will still continue dying of the flus. Like COVID is never going to die. It's not going to. One of our friends 4 years ago passed away in her early 40s of the flu. Yeah. So I get that it is real. So when people walk into our store, please have a mask, you know, and if you can't, that's fine. You know, we're wearing a mask for our own protection anyways.
And we are going to sanitize and keep the store closed, and we still want everybody to respect their social distancing and everything within store. We just want the right to be able to open so that we can give that experience. We can give back to the community.
Yes, absolutely.
So I think that's where it brings us to today, because you did reopen. You were public about your reopening on your social media. And so you guys got some fines.
We did, yes. And here they are. We both got a fine this morning. Yeah. I actually didn't know that they could fine both of us. So we got fined $1,760 because we can afford that, clearly, right? Right. So these are our tickets here. Yeah, this is mine and this is Shawn's. And we both got fined $880.
It's completely unjust.
How did that happen? How did they come to the store to give you that?
Our doors are locked. I have the Charter of Rights and Freedom on our window. I have our limit of 6 people in store. I also have a note stating that our doors are locked because we don't want unwanted solicitors or unwanted members of the community coming in. You know, I open the door and I say, okay, like, are you coming in to purchase? Sure. Okay, awesome. Come on in. And then we lock the door behind them for their own protection as well. Because, you know, there are haters out there that could come here and try to do destruction of our property, of our person. I'm not sure, right? So we're just protecting ourselves.
We're trying to make it as safe as possible too.
So when they showed up, the door was locked. So I think that kind of upset them a little bit at first, right? Because then they started knocking pretty loud, you know. So Shawn's the one, we grabbed our masks, grabbed our jackets. He waited for me at the door. So we unlocked the door and we walked out. We did not let them in. So we don't have the biggest entrance. So they literally had to like stand in our stairs, but whatever, it was what it was. And then basically just he confirmed, you know, who are you? We said, yeah, we're Shawn and Daphne Donaldson. And he said, are you aware of the, I forget what he says, the Opening Act.
The Reopening Ontario Act, which is such a ridiculous name.
Just alone.
I think at that point, I'm like, are you aware of the Charter of Rights and Freedom or something like that? You know what I mean? That was just like, but honestly, both officers were very courteous. They were very nice. They were like, actually were pretty sympathetic at the end when, like, because they even said too, well, don't you have curbside and online? I'm like, Yes, our sales are down 80% though. Like I told them, I lost my job already. We had 2 stores. I lost my job. I have 2 kids at home to feed.
Well, the reason we're clinging on to that 25% of sales we're still getting is because of online. And we thank our viewers because second COVID started, we actually shut down 3 weeks prior to them recommending lockdown just to be safer. We shut down our stores 3 weeks prior.
Yes.
And then at that point, we started on the online show every Friday at 8 o'clock. We've been discussing and just trying to entertain and have a good time because everything closed down. But previously, we were doing entertainment in different local bars and establishments trying to support them.
And we're also a part of VCAN. So
we're part of the Community Action Network as well, locally.
We do community action stuff. So we have
Mr. Greens have sponsored several times.
Yeah, we host events like Family Day, and we actually promote through Mr. Greens.
We promoted local events, and even our businesses show that we're not discriminated. We're not criminals.
No, we're not. We're not.
It's sad to see nowadays where someone gets to be labeled a hero for making a phone call, and you get labeled a criminal for having a friend over, and that's tough enough to deal with, right? And then even in our businesses, it took a lot of guts for us to come out and be strong for our community and other businesses out there. So that's why we're here.
We also opened up our head shop prior to legalization, which was a risk. You know what I mean? We had some authority come in, talk to us, say, you're not allowed to sell cannabis. We were very well aware of that. We never
weren't selling cannabis whatsoever.
No seeds,
so
nothing.
We had no issues with that, but just shows like the prejudgment you always.
We respect authority, okay, because there has to be some kind of rules implemented so that we all can live a good life. This is extreme. This is unjust. It is unfair that they're killing our economy. And now what's going to happen when there's no more Mr. Greens, there's no more small businesses? All's going to be left is Walmart and Costco. And then what's going to happen with those prices? Because then you have no more competition.
We've already seen friends of ours lose their bar. It was a bar, arcade, and tattoo parlor all in one. And they lost their business, and it was a great idea. We were doing very, very well. And they lost its second COVID hit. The first round, they lost their business.
They weren't around for a year, so they had absolutely no funding. But
no funding, no backup, because their business wasn't open long enough, right? So we just want to make sure that, this movement that we're a part of now, that gets the right people's attention so that we can keep pushing forward together.
Yeah.
Well, like I said last time I talked to you two, you're very excitable and passionate for people who sell product in an industry that makes you want to chill out. But when I talked to you before, I said, if you get a ticket, I cannot encourage you to break the law, but if you do get a ticket, come back to me because we're going to help you fight that fine at no cost to you. We'll crowdfund a legal defense for you through fightthefines.com. We're going to put you in touch with a top criminal lawyer. And you guys do what you do. You remain active members in your community. You promote your business and
definitely staying strong for
entrepreneurs.
For everybody.
Yeah.
Now, where can people find you guys if they want to see what you're up to, support your business? Because I know you're active on social media. You got YouTube.
Yeah.
How do people support you?
On Facebook's our main platform.
So under Mr. Greens Novelties,
Mr. Greens Novelties
we have
on
a page,
Facebook. Yeah.
And we also have a group, Mr. and Mrs. Greens fan club. Because we do have a live show every Friday that we do giveaways. So we do have a lot of fans, and the people can post and do some like proof.
Our followers have really been behind us, so it's really helped, and they've been constantly encouraging, and they've been donating and buying off us online just to help us push through this. So it's been really encouraging. And
we also have a website, so www.mrgreensnovelties.com. It's actually quite easy to navigate. We do take a lot of payment options. So it's actually really easy. And you know what? If somebody has a hard time going through our website, give us a call at the store.
Or come and see us in person and we'll help you.
Or come in person. We're here for you. Like, we will help you get the experience that you need to ensure that you have the product. I don't want and you know what? If you do have to go online and you screwed up and you realize we do take returns because we realize, sometimes it doesn't work out. As long as it's unused product, we will take a return. It's not like some of these COVID rules there. Like, no. If you didn't use the product, we'll take it back. It's not full of
try to do exceptional customer service and to wait for just they're missing out on the chance to come in store and see that. Now people are getting scared to shop too. They want to go into one store and then that's it, right? So
I want people to expect more from us because this is our business. We put ourselves on the line for this, so they should expect more of us. Absolutely. Like Walmart, you're not going to get the service you get here.
No, definitely
not.
Now,
we love what you guys are doing though.
Yes, oh my God.
Tell David I love his hat. I'm sure you heard me already now. So.
I will. Do you guys have a message for the other small business owners out there who might be considering opening, but they're a little bit scared?
Stay strong.
Stay strong.
You can do this.
Your customers will be there to support you.
Yes, and put it
As long
out
as you're
there.
positive and you put a lot of passion into your work, they will support you.
And put it out there. Don't hide around it. Literally, voice yourself.
Voice yourself.
On whatever platform
It's your
that you
best bet.
can. As a unity, we can be stronger.
Yeah.
Individual, like they can overtake us. If we all do this together, we will prosper and we will take our country back.
We'll rebuild.
Absolutely.
Operating a lawful business, educating your customers, and paying your bills shouldn't be illegal in this country. But in much of the country, and especially Doug Ford's Ontario, it is. That's why we're helping Daphne and Shawn fight their fines by putting them in touch with a top criminal lawyer at fightthefines.com. Premier Doug Ford needs a real reality check, and I'm glad Rebel News and the Donaldsons are the people who just might give it to him. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. If you'd like to help us defend civil liberties during the coronavirus pandemic, you can donate at fightthefines.com. And if you're like the Donaldsons and you've received a lockdown ticket, don't pay it, fight it. Send it to us at fightthefines.com and we'll put you in touch with a top criminal lawyer that will take your case to court.